So we'll be moving on to our second session of today, which is the day in the life of a data science student. So for this, I would like to welcome McAndrew Saad, who is one of our students in the Master of Data Science program, and he will be speaking about the choice of program, why he decided to study data science, and what is some of the advice he has for other students or prospective students. So thank you for joining and welcome, McAndrew.
Hi, Lara. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity.
So, McAndrew, maybe you could just start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your background before you started your degree in data science.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm 26 years old, and I'm based in Beirut, Lebanon. This is where I was born and raised. Um, Yeah, I did a computer science degree in a good university in my country, and then I applied for a data science master's with the LU. We will discuss that in a little bit. But I started my career working as a technical support at a software development company. And then after a while, I got promoted to the team supervisor. So I got a chance to work with the team and know how it feels to be a leader, since we were talking about it right now, and how it feels to work in a team as well. And in November 2019, I decided to join ELU for my data science master's, and here we are today.
Thank you. So you clearly already had some work experience, also a background in computer science with your bachelor's degree, but how did you get inspired to study data science?
Yeah, sure. While I was working as a technical support, most of my work was working with people's data. We used to have inventory management systems, and all of our customers used to host their data on our servers. And we used to support their application. And part of my job as a supervisor was to work around the scripts that were being released on the client's databases, just optimization, making sure everything is working well, sometimes creating my own SQL scripts. So I had a lot of fair share with working with data. And I also used to gather reports from my team and used to make small, just tiny decisions on how to split the team on different tasks on different days when we had too much work on a certain day. I used to check my data and see where I have to allocate my team's efforts. So from that, I decided I like academics, and I always dreamed of having a PhD. So I wanted to go for a master's, and data science was like the best option for me after doing some research. And for me, I think it's the hottest job of the century. So yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear how you kind of realized you were already using a lot of data and maybe doing a bit of data science already before actually studying it. So there's of course a lot of pathways. I think, like you said, it's the hottest job, and therefore there's also a lot of different resources. Yesterday we also talked a bit about how to choose a program or an institute. And for example, there's of course some institutes that are offering boot camps, so maybe shorter courses with a skills focus, practical focus. And then you have the universities, online or traditional universities that are offering degrees. So why did you make the decision to join a degree program rather than maybe a bootcamp?
I had an experience with a bootcamp where it was an Oracle Database Administrator bootcamp, and I found that, well, it was like a certification where I would get like real certifications from Oracle, but I found that you don't actually need that unless you're really working with it. And like my work was on SQL. And so I found that to be kind of useless, but just another point on my CV. But like I said, I love academics, and I know how to be a good student. I know how to do my role and how to get things done in university. Although this is not what it takes to become successful, but yeah, this is kind of like a path that I've chosen. I want to go through academics. I will definitely get my PhD one day.
Great, and I think sometimes we definitely see that people join a bootcamp first. They kind of get a taste of data science, or maybe a taste of Python, for example, and then they're ready to make the commitment to a longer program. So I think that that makes sense and is a quite common experience. So when you were looking for different schools and different programs, what were some factors you were considering, or what were you paying attention to?
To be honest, there are a lot of like interesting programs in my country. There are as well some data science programs, but not the ones that I was looking for. So I started looking around Europe somewhere nice. I applied to a university in Germany, but it was taking too long for them to reply, and like the whole procedure took around 6, 7 months. And in that time, I already applied to two other universities. One of them is ELU, and they got the acceptance and so on. So I basically was looking somewhere outside of my country just to be able to like I like traveling, I like discovering new places. I don't mind going and living in a different country for a couple of years, do a master's and like being exposed to a culture, to a new culture and so on. So yeah, that's where my mindset was before all the COVID thing. And yeah, like we used to have plans of traveling. Now I think most of them are gone for the near future. So that's how it is.
Yeah, I think we're all waiting for the vaccine, or things seems to be, of course, a little bit less restricted, so that you can also come to the Netherlands. Now, you have chosen specifically to start your program with European Leadership University. Could you talk a little bit about your experience so far as a student? Some of the highlights, maybe, or the learning experience?
Yeah, well, like for me personally, I really like the program because it doesn't follow traditional school techniques or university techniques that we all know. You get the course, you study, do an exam. So that's the thing that I really like about the program is that it's really practical. All you do is courses and projects, and most of the work has to be done by yourself. So it teaches you like a lot to be responsible and to heavily rely on yourself when you want to get something accomplished. For example, on my first project, I actually spent like maybe a couple of days researching. I didn't know what I wanted to do because there was so much that needed to be done on a personal level, and I wasn't used to that. So it kind of took me a couple of days to realize where I was and what I had to do and like how can I get it done in time and so on. So this is part of my experience with online learning, with the program that the LU offers, like how unique it is, how practical it is. And on another level, it's also a part-time program, so I can like have a work life on the side, and also be able to catch my and stay up to date on my courses and everything. So yeah, this is a quick recap of my time with the LU.
Thanks. And it sounds like just being a kind of student who has to manage their time wisely, you are already definitely needing to apply some of the leadership skills that came up in the first session as well.
Yep.
So how do you think specifically this master or getting a master in data science will prepare you for your future?
Um, well, like I said, education doesn't is not all what it takes to become successful. So there's a lot more to be done. As a data scientist, the more like you dive into the field, the more stuff that you find that you need to learn. So like for me to become a data scientist, it's not I won't become a data scientist after I finish my master's. It's gonna take me a little while more. Maybe I need to take a few a few courses that would complement my studies, and then have a little bit of experience in an enterprise or somewhere where they work purely in data science. And then like you need a lot of practical work, a lot of experience just to be able to become like a really good data scientist. So takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of patience, and yeah, I'm going for it personally. It's just like a subtle time for everyone, and like all our plans are on hold for now. So yeah, I'm kind of currently working as I just started a new job a couple of weeks ago as a software development consultant in a company. Like the unemployment rate in my country is around 50%. So although I'm not working as a data scientist right now, but I will definitely be looking for a data science job really soon. So that's kind of what's going in my mind.
Yeah, I personally know all the efforts that you put into each of your projects, at least within the university. So ELU has a skills focus in their program. What are some of the skills you have picked up since you started studying data science? Maybe both some of the technical skills, but also some of the soft skills or leadership skills.
Yeah, definitely. Like w- to talk on a leadership perspective or like on a team perspective, um, I picked a lot of skills in collaboration and communication, and basically in coaching as well. But um, I always have been a good team player, but I picked like really small details when you work with a team and how to organize yourself, especially when I had my experience in group projects and we were all like each and every one of us was in a different continent. So it was kind of tough to collaborate between each other and communicate and get the work on time done, as well as respecting like I had a job, another guy had a job, respecting each other's time as well. So yeah, it was kind of tough on that level, but it taught me a lot. It kind of gave me those extra things that I needed in that on that level. On a technical level, I would say that everything I know on the data science field I acquired through my 10 month of being an ELU student, maybe 11 months now. So yeah, I'm grateful and I feel like I accomplished a lot and I gathered a lot of knowledge and education that I need to be able to be successful in the near future.
Great. So you already talked a little bit about some of your dreams for the future. What are currently your career plans in terms of your data science practice, and what are some of your future hopes as well?
Yeah, personally, I'm like to be honest, I'm trying to leave the country, go somewhere like around Europe or maybe Canada. I have a lot of relatives there. I know in Canada you can find a lot of data science job. I know as well in Europe, like it's becoming a thing where you have all those big data centers with like now they are creating data science companies which never existed before. So yeah, I'm kind of optimistic about the future, but like at the moment, I'm kind of just working on my personal skills until like the time comes and things get better. I will definitely like go for it.
And you said that before you joined the program, you thought that data science was the hardest job of the century. Is that still
Yeah.
something you think?
Yeah, the more I dive into it, the more I find it like the most important thing in the future because for me, I think like even in a grocery store you can have data science and like make something out of it. If you just gather the guy's data and forecast their sales for next year, that would do him good. Even like if you're planting some seeds, I don't know, if you're planting some tomatoes, like just as simple as that, you can somehow use data science to predict something. So I think it's really important. The more people realize the importance of data science, the more it's going to become really crucial in our lives, like engineers, like doctors, that will like become even more interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm really optimistic, and I really think that if you become a really successful data scientist, like uh, success is inevitable because it's really a good place to be in if you are a data scientist right now.
Yeah, I definitely share your optimism and your dreams. So we just have a few minutes left, and if anyone in the audience has any question for McAndrew, please let us know through the Q&A or the chat. Maybe as just a final question or two, I'm wondering, is there anything that has surprised you since you really started to learn more and practice data science? Is there something you maybe thought before or that has surprised you about the field?
Yeah, something like kind of ringed in my head when you said something about surprised you. And like when I was in my bachelor's doing computer science, I think maybe my first year, I was in a programming course and there was this doctor that was telling us in the computer science field, And if you want to become successful, you have to do a lot on your own. She was saying that one time she got a Java project and she really needed the money, but she didn't know Java. So she spent a month learning Java because she knows like other programming languages, and she got the project done. So, and I kind of realized how important her speech was in my data science masters, when I found that like to really become successful, I have to do a lot on my own, and I have to like initiate, always be an initiator. If I research something and I found that's going to be interesting the next couple of years, or there's an emerging technology right now, go learn it. That will do you good in the near future. So there's a lot to do on your own, and I really advise everyone in the field, like if you want to become successful, you cannot just stick to one technology or one thing that you know. You always have to improve your skill set and add other tools to your tool belt. So yeah, I hope
Perfect. Well,
this was.
that has kind of brought me to my final question. You already shared one piece of advice, but to
Uh-huh.
someone who is thinking about studying data science or is applying to different data science programs, what would be a piece of advice you would like to give them?
Yeah, well, I would like to, like, the only piece of advice that I would give is to know exactly what you want. I think non-technical people, or yeah, non-technical people confuse, or people outside of the data science field confuse the term data science. They confuse it with data engineering and data analytics and some other like really big terms like that. I would advise them, do your research, know exactly what you want. Like there are certain things that you need to be good at in order to be successful as a data scientist. So yeah, just do your research, do your homework, and like know exactly what you want. I had a motive behind my choice and I followed it. So yeah, I advise everyone to do the same.
Thank you so much, McAndrew. Thank you for sharing your time with us today and your experience. Perhaps if you can, you're free to stick around as well. Maybe some people will have some questions through the chat. But thank you again for making the time. And I'll pass it on to Robert, who will be introducing our next speaker.
Yes, thanks,
Thanks a
Laura.
lot.
McAndrew, can I ask you another question, a final
Yes,
question?
sure. Go ahead, sir.
You're still there. Thank you for your, thanks for your story and to hear about your experience. You have chosen to learn like in an online program, right, or a remote program. Is this something that you want to do with your work as well? Because you see like an increasing demand for remote work. Is this something you consider, and do you think like an online learning program will help you with working remotely?
Okay, I have two answers to that question. First answer, I initially wanted a program where, like, initially we had to travel at the end of ALU's program to Amsterdam. We had like some workshops that they prepared and some job fairs and so on. But for the due to the COVID thing, we didn't get the chance to do it. So if I knew before that it was all gonna be online, maybe I would have changed my mind, because I like to meet people, I like to intervene, I have a lot of communication with others working in a team. But the second answer to my question is that in my previous experience as a support technician and a support supervisor, all of my work was remote because we had an office here in Lebanon and the company and all customers were in the United States. So all of our work was remote. And I'm currently working as a software development consultant, but we work on international contracts for international organizations like UNICEF and so on. So all of my work is actually remote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much again.
No,
Stay around if you want.
I will.